just announced the first major update to version 6 alpha, and I've got everything you need to know in this video. So they just announced, as always in the middle of the night, so you may have missed it. Here's the key points. You can now upscale twice as fast, which means it will take less GPU minutes, so you won't burn up as much of your monthly credits generating images. They've improved aesthetics, coherence, prompt adherence, and image quality. Improved text rendering. Most important thing is that when you want text, you have to put it in quotation marks. If you forget the quotation marks, you're not going to get text actually in the image. It will just think it's part of your prompt description. And finally, they've improved performance at high stylized values, which is in terms of image quality, aesthetics, text rendering, and prompt accuracy. Now, here's the challenge. What exactly does that mean? I'm going to show you exactly in a quick demonstration. Let's first talk about Stylize. So on MidJourney's website under docs, they have a category called Stylize, which you've seen created by either doing --stylize or just --s. Now the range is from 0 to 1,000. Now they haven't updated their documents, but version 4 and version 5 uses 0 to 1,000, so we're going to assume the version 6 is using the same numbers. Niji is also using 0 to 1,000. Let's see what the differences are. From Stylize 0, we have these kind of crayon drawings of cats. As you increase the stylization, you start to see at the top, it becomes a lot more artistic or further away from the prompt. It gives it more creative freedom. Same thing here, we can see examples of fruit that get more and more realistic as we go across. And in the past, similar things. So what we want to see is with MidJourney version 6, how much of a difference does Stylize make? So we're going to run a series of experiments live on this video. So let's start by making sure we're in the correct mode. I've actually been going back and forth between MidJourney 5.2 and 6, depending upon the result I need. Because all the prompts are so different with 6, if I don't want something super realistic, like I don't want it to look like a photograph, I want it to look like a cartoon, I keep going back to 5.2. Eventually things are going to shake out. So let's put it into model 6. And we're just going to write something very simple and see if this new version of MidJourney is just a little bit smarter. So I say cat sitting on a table, dog under the table. And then we're going to do stylize, --s, and we're just going to do 0. And let's see what happens. What we're going to do is create multiple versions of the same image. What we're really testing is if it's getting better at position. One of the complaints about version 6 that people are talking about is that it wasn't still able to tell the cat is on a table and the dog is under the same table. It would kind of mix things up. So that's the first thing that we're testing here is actually the ability to do positioning and to see if that's been improved. Additionally, we're going to see what the range of stylization is. So while that's loading, I'm going to run the same prompt at different stylization levels. So you can see I can copy the prompt in, hit the button, and we're just going to now go, this is the default stylization level, which is 100. And then we're going to just go through the spectrum. I'm not going to do every level, so we're kind of going for just finding out what's possible. And the highest level, of course, is 1,000. So now they're all running at the same time. Obviously, we'll have to put a cut in the video until these are ready. All right, our prompts are completed. One of the things I've noticed is actually with the new update, they have a little number here in the corner that shows the percentage of completion, which in a previous video I said I wish they had that when I'm on the website because I'd like to see it in action. But let's take a look at Stylize. I want to see cat above the table, dog under. So here we're going to take a quick look. Yep, success. We do have 2 cat. Well, I think that's half a cat. But we have success as far as the positioning. Same thing, cat above, dog below, cat above, dog below. So 4 wins as far as the positioning. As we increase the stylization number, what we're actually saying is you don't have to listen to the prompt as much. So when they talk about prompt adherence, stylize usually means how much are you going to actually listen to the prompt and how much are you going to do whatever you want. The higher the stylized number, the less MidJourney is listening to you and the more creativity. And this is kind of like when you hire an artist and you say, hey, just follow your instincts or just do your best or just kind of make something that's really cool. That's what's happening here is that they don't have a lot of instructions. Let's go to our second set of images. The default stylize is 100. Let's look at this. So interesting, we have a cat, a dog above and below the table. So we do have a success and an extra dog is an extra dog. Failure, dog is on top of the table. 2 cats. I don't know if there's a dog down there. It's so dark. 2 cats, dog below the table. So you can see we're getting a lower success rate because it's not as strict with the positioning And this is one of the challenges. It's not that important to me because I don't often try and put a bunch of characters in the place at the same time. You'll notice this is slightly moved away from a photograph. It's a little more artistic. Here we're at 500. No cats at all. We have three. This kind of reminds me of like a dogs playing poker type image. We have 3 dogs around the table. It's black and white. Very creative. Boy, I'm not sure what that is. Is that a half cat, half dog? Let's just guess that this is supposed to be a dog. I'm not sure if that's a real dog because to me it doesn't look quite like a dog or quite like a cat. But maybe I'm like silly. Let me know in the comments below if that is a specific breed of dog or if it's a cat dog. They're both on top of the table, so it's moved away again. We haven't given a lot of instructions other than the 2 animals and where they're positioned. And here again, we see this, and at first it seems like a violation, but if you look under the table, that may be a dog. I can't tell. Like on the right, that's definitely a dog, but that may be a cat. So maybe a cat and dog above and a cat and dog below the table. So we're seeing a lot more freedom and a lot more creativity. Oh, there's one more image. And then cat and dog is lower on the table, but the cat is still higher. This is very interesting because it looks like a very physical painting. You can see all the painting marks and stuff like that. So it's actually very realistic. Interesting. At the highest level of stylization, we get no adherence to the prompt, right? We don't even have a dog in the image. Oh boy. Now I'm wondering if that's a real kind of cat. It looks like a lion cat. We do have a cat and a dog. They're both on top of the table, not below. We've now added in some still life images. The fruit appears again. To me, this is 2 cats above the table and a cat above the table. And if there's a dog down there, I can't tell. It's a cat now next to a pot of water. So it's getting very, very far. There's a lot of drift. So this is the difference with the new stylization level. This is better than Stylize was a little while ago. The thing is, at Stylize 1000, you're getting exactly what I'd expect, which is do whatever you want. So we're going to try, let's look at my past again to get an idea of what type of images I'm often creating that I find useful. So here you can see this is me designing images for my GPTs, but I want to find something that I actually used. Okay, here we go. So this is something I was doing just a few weeks ago. This is the cover image for one of my videos. And we're going to add in this, and we're just going to do the exact same process. So we're going to create the same image. And I'm just going to do Stylize 0 first. We're going to do them in order. When I hit S100, that'll be the same level. And let's see if we can get it. You can see I put the word animation, and these don't look very cartoony, right? They look not animated. So we're going to try this prompt at a couple of levels, S100. And there are some pretty significant differences as we do like Stylize 250, Stylize 400, and you can kind of get granular, but I also think that that's not a good use of your time. If I have to do all 1,000 levels of Stylize, that's hours of work to find the right number. It's not what I want. I want to get a quick result. So that's why I'm kind of doing a broad search. And we're going to finally put in Stylize 1000. There we go. Okay. So you can see here, this is the number I wanted you to see. We can now see the progress bar. So this is 78%. This is a big jump as it wasn't there before. And what's interesting is it never does them in the exact order you're expecting. So this looks very similar to what I got before with Stylize 100. You're not getting the cartooniness. So right now there's a heavy leaning in version 6 towards realism, whereas in 5.2 the default was more towards cartoon, so it's easier for me to get cartoon images. You can see this does not look like animation. This looks like stylized photography, right? Like it looks at most like rotoscope, which is where you take a picture and draw on top of it. At Stylize 0, let's see what we have here. Very interesting. Like these are not good. It's the best thing I can say. These images are not good. So to me, a Stylize 0 is not usable, right? That's starting to look clip arty. We go to Stylize 100, this looks great. To me, there's a huge jump. This one is out of focus, but this looks like a real person out of focus. This is the helicopter's in focus. The explosion is good. This is an amazing picture, and this is an amazing picture. So these are really good. The face is not perfect, but again, for what I'm looking for is the kinetics of the image. Like, can I use this and it catches your attention more than anything else? So that's at Stylize 100. I don't see a huge difference there, but they mostly talk about the higher Stylize numbers, what happens. So let's see what happens at Stylize 500. This is an amazing photograph to me. This is better. So this is better than I got at Stylize 100. So I consider this the best image we've seen so far. This one's very good. This one's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's kind of, again, similar to the 100, maybe a little better than the 100. But so going back, I just want to say this is kind of our baseline. This is the best one, which we got to Stylize 500. Very interesting, right? And this is why we do these experiments. We don't know what's going to happen. This is Stylize 1000. Are you kidding me? This is really shocking because this looks really great. This is an unbelievable. This is really great as well. It really understood what I wanted, and you can see because I have a longer prompt. Man with a beard riding a horse toward camera. Every single time that they're getting that correctly. Swinging a lasso, so that's why he's always holding a rope. The lasso's not always perfect. This is like not really a lasso, but it looks awesome, right? So this is like, it's like that saying, it's like when you go between accuracy and the legend. Let's go with the legend. This looks very good. And then there's an exploding helicopter in the background, animation, vibrant colors. The helicopter's not exploding this one, but it does look like contrails, like it shot some missiles and there's some explosions down here. So it got what I meant. Same thing here. Let me see what else we have. Okay. So for our final images, let's look at these one more time. Pretty good. This is a 10 out of 10 picture. This is so good. I'm really surprised this happened at Stylize 1000. This is a big surprise for me. You can see that it went creative because there's no lasso, right? And it said, hey, I've got a better idea. This conveys a lot of emotion on his face, right? It's being chased by a helicopter. We've seen it I've seen it in tons of movies, the type of movie I watch. Overall, I'm very pleased with this. And this one is okay. Yeah. So for me, the best one is this one. So at 500, 1000, we're getting good results. This is very interesting. We haven't played around with Stylize very much. Most people don't, just because it's so ill-defined. It's just like a measurement. It's like a chaos measurement, right? Like how much randomness can you do? How far off the reservation can you go? And we're seeing now that even at Stylize 1000, the highest level, it's not going absolutely crazy. If we go back to the announcement, right? It says upscales are twice as fast. So that's what we're really going to test. So it's not generations that are faster, it's upscales. So let's upscale this image and see if that happened. What? That was fast. I don't know how to measure that. That happened in like 1,000th of a second, right? So let's try one more time. Let's upscale it again and see how fast it takes. So this was really printing out the image almost. Now we're saying make it bigger. And let's see how long it takes. Yeah, this is still slow. It's a very complicated image, and I don't often count the time. I usually will hit upscale and then go do something else and come back and it's ready. Even when I'm using the upscaler that's on my computer, it is faster than this. Once it's loaded, sometimes it has to download a new model when I'm using Topaz Gigapixel, which is the upscaler I use locally. This is, to me, look at this. It's much, much slower, right? It's much slower than the renders. We're only at 16%. So this one I'm going to let you guys watch in real time just so you can see how long it's taking. The thing to remember is that my credits and our credits with MidJourney are in time. So the longer an image takes to generate, the less images we can generate every month. I never hit the limit, so I don't worry about this. You have to be going really hard, generating 8 hours a day the entire month to kind of hit the limit. So we only hit the limit when I and a VA on my team are both generating every single day. Then we have hit the limit. But he's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week generating images plus me on top of that. So if I wasn't there, he wouldn't hit the limit. So it's that high. Very interesting to see that they are having some issues with upscaling. I wonder what the process is, because with my local one, it takes the image and just kind of doubles all the pixels in every area. I think here it's probably doing something else in the back end to generate the larger image. Like it's actually redrawing the image. So it might be adding in details that didn't exist in the original one. That's the big question. And the question of, again, I don't often upscale in like twice inside of MidJourney. I usually do it externally. Let's see how good this looks. We're at 94%, which is exciting, which means we're very close. And let's see when that final number hits. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. And I guess that's what they say. A watch pot never boils. So there we go. Finally. Let's look and see. Here's the lower ups version. Okay. Massive difference. To me, if you look at the face, I actually think this version's better. I think the lower scale, the non-upscaled version is better. So you can see this face looks really great. To me, it has a lot of character. This is not, to me, these aren't mistakes. Like, this isn't low resolution stuff on his face. I thought it was dirt. And the higher image, he's cleaner, right? That seems like the difference. If you look at his clothes, they're very frayed, and here they've smoothed. This is very interesting. So this is similar to what happens with vectorizer. When you're converting something to a vector, it actually smooths and has a lot of problems with hair and with fur and with anything like that where there's a lot of texture. Let's look at the horse's hair and see if that changes, because that's what I want to look at next. So the horse's hair is better in the second image. It's more in focus. So this looks like out of focus to in focus. The face, to me, I would never say that's in focus. Yeah, I like this image more. Very interesting to see. If you guys found this interesting, please hit the like button, the follow button, the subscribe button. I know they're always changing. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this, if you are excited by these changes with MidJourney 6. And I'll see you guys in the next video.